Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of Instant Replay. Of course, if you're watching today, Monday, February 11th, we're live on Facebook, and you can catch us the rest of the week on FYNTV.com or our YouTube channel at, I went blank. It's a Monday for you guys. I just apologize for that, but I'll get there. There we go. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYNTV Fetch Your News and watch it there as well. You can also give us a call at 706-889-9700. This is week number 2 with Dave being out of studio and trying some different things, as we mentioned last week. We're going to get to him shortly. I want to thank everyone for joining us this week. We've got an action-packed show, as always, and look forward to our viewers. Possibly, like I said, contact us. Let us know. Fetch Your News at Instant Replay at FetchYourNews.com. You can catch us there. Send us a message, call us, text us, let us know. If we're not highlighting someone, your son, daughter, brother, sister, grandson, granddaughter, let us know. We do our best with our team of reporters to get out there and get everything in, but we probably do miss some things, and we want to make sure we highlight your athlete that's in your family or one of your friends. I'm going to bring in Dave Garner now and see how he's doing on this beautiful, rainy, cold Monday morning. Dave?
Yeah, that's right, Luther. I tell you what, it leaves a little bit to be desired in the weather today, and I know we've got some rain in the forecast, but still not going to be able to damper our show today and all the things that we have to talk about. Of course, you mentioned it up top, buddy. A lot of things to get to, so we're going to dive right on in and talk a little bit about what's going on, because I'm not even sure we're going to get it all done in an hour. We've got high school basketball to talk about, state tournament action, of course, cranking up this week, state wrestling tournaments this weekend. We're going to have a recap of the sectionals for you, and of course, we're going to talk a little swimming and soccer for you as well. And we've got a lot, let's just say, going on here over the next hour. Let's jump right on in. We're going to start this first segment talking about the next level. And basically what this is anytime any of our student athletes make their college choices known, we let you know about it. And we had a bunch last week that signed their name on the dotted line, making their college choices official as part of National Signing Day. Now, Luther, I'm going to throw it back to you in a minute, but I want to run down the folks that we have right now that have committed to further their academic and athletic career. Let's start in Pickens County. Several athletes, in fact, 6 of them signing last week as part of National Signing Day. Tori Williams headed to Reinhardt for basketball. We all know what Tori's done and what she's meant to the Dragonettes on the hardwood this year. Zach Goss and Trevon Hawkins headed to Shorter College for football. Caswell Smith signing for College of Charleston baseball. Also, Will Lawrence signing for baseball as well with Wallace State Community College. We're kind of rolling through them. There you see the group right there of folks from Pickens that signing to the next level. Ellie Abner signing softball scholarship to Truett McConnell, and Catherine Dinsmore will continue her outstanding career into the next level as a golfer for West Georgia College. So again, congratulations to those athletes there. I think I said 6. I meant 7 though. I had Zach and Trevon on the same line there. So 7 different Dragon and Dragonette student athletes taking their game to the next level, and we want to congratulate those guys there. We're going to talk a little bit more about these guys a little bit later on, and we do have an exclusive interview with PHS head baseball coach Adam Williams as we talk a little bit about Will and Caswell and the decisions those guys have made and how they got there and why they were able to get there through all their hard work. And you'll hear from Coach Williams coming up a little bit later on in the program. Turning our attention to Dawson County, there were several Tigers and Lady Tigers that also made their college choices known. Zach Balaga signed with the University of Virginia at Wise for football. Logan Barnes signed a football scholarship with Wofford College. Savon Clark signed as a preferred walk-on at the University of Georgia. Again, he wanted to go to the big program. He'll have an opportunity as a preferred walk-on. And Ryan Glass also signing a football scholarship with Berry College in D3 over there out of Rome. And this is the largest group of football signees in Dawson County Tiger football history. So congratulations to those 4 guys headed to the next level. They all served as team captains this year for a program was 35-13 over their 4 years. So congratulations to those guys. We said we're going to have an interview coming up with Coach Williams here in a little bit. But Luther, want to toss it back to you. What a showing. National Signing Day, it's changed a little bit. You've got the early signing period now. So this past week was kind of the end of the official signing period, the National Signing Day as we used to know it. Your thoughts on all these different student athletes? As you know, we're always highlighting and promoting student athletes in a positive way. What a great showing to have this many going to the next level.
Yeah, Dave, thank you for that. It is definitely awesome to see this many student athletes from our area making that commitment. I'm sure there's more from other schools that I just couldn't find the information on, so I apologize for that. I start out of Pickens County. Tori, Coach Parker was talking in the pre-signing stage, I guess, was talking about how well and what she's meant to the Dragonettes basketball program, not only this year, but in her 4 years. There's I think 23 people or 21 ladies for the Nets had scored a certain amount of points with three-pointers over the four, in their careers. And Tori was right there at the top. I believe he said she actually set the three-point record for the Dragonettes in her career. Zach Goss, there's a standout, that really come a long way. As through our coaches shows we did earlier in the year, Coach Parker had said that, with the youth program and him being the athletic director over it all, he's known Zach since, he's a seventh grader. And he's really seen him grow and mature throughout the program. And Zach was originally verbally committed to Tennessee Tech. There was some situations that came up with a new president and new requirements or something. I'm not, the full details weren't released to me, but he was able to change and sign with Shorter. Of course, he's going to be going to school there and playing football with Trevon Hawkins, which is, one of his best friends. They've played together for 4 years. There's a chemistry there that's just going to be amazing as they come on the team. And a little side note, Coach Parker made the comment that, he is the athletic director now, and he is not a football coach anymore. But he said if he suddenly leaves the Dragons program, quits AD, you can find him at Shorter College as a coach. He said if he was to go back into coaching, that would be where he would go. He said he was just kidding. Dragon Nation, he's not going anywhere. It's okay. He's still your athletic director. He wanted to make that clear as well. But, he's had several. He had some last year and the year before go to Shorter as well. So the Dragons are making a statement at Shorter, have a good football program, and these guys can only make it better. So congratulations to them. Moving on to Dawson. Savon Clark's the one that really sticks out to me, Dave. It's, you don't see too many that take a walk-on position but still sign. That's an unusual format. He's not going in under scholarship. It is a walk-on spot. But Clark said he really wanted to be – first off, it was great to be a dog, and he's really looking forward to getting in the running back program there for one of the best running back programs in the nation, as we all know, with Gurley and Chubb and Sony Michel. I mean, and we can keep going the number of running backs they've put out that are doing really well still at University of Georgia, plus in the NFL, as we've seen in the Super Bowl, 2 great running backs from Georgia were there. So that one really stands out. He had several offers from other schools, good schools with good offers. And he chose to do this one because he really wants to focus and get his running back skills up to par and run for a great program like University of Georgia. So congratulations to them all. No doubt, Coach Parker did say there should be more signing as the per se unofficial ending comes, throughout. And of course in baseball, we'll go back to Pickens real quick. Caswell Smith and Will Lawrence. As you'll see in the interview later in the show, Coach Williams, he is a next level producing machine, and we'll talk about that a little bit in the interview, and he'll bring that information to the forefront for us as we go through that. That pretty much does it for our next level segment. Dave, you got anything to add to that?
No, I think you hit it all ahead, Luther. Man, you hit it good right there. And I'm excited for these guys. I'm just excited for the talent that's coming out of the local area. headed to the next level. And again, we always like to keep it positive right here, highlighting, promoting our student athletes in a positive way. And I think that each and every one of them will definitely represent the local area well. So I'm excited about it. Luther, we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we are going to dive into some high school wrestling. What all went down this past weekend at the state sectionals, we'll tell you coming up after the break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
We're more than just $5 medium one-topping pizzas, stuffed garlic knots, breadsticks, bone-out wings, pasta, and new Cinnabon mini rolls. We're the $5 lineup with the best sides for your pizza.
$5 each.
Choose 2 or more, $5 each. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Welcome back to Section 2, or as we like to call it here at Instant Replay, quarter number 2. As Dave mentioned, going into break, we're going to start off this next segment, and we're going to bring you tons of wrestling information from the GHSA sectionals. We had several of our local schools competing. Today we're going to highlight Pickens and Gilmer out of 4A and Lumpkin County Indians out of 3A. Dave, I'm going to bring you in real quick, and before we get into it, I want to just let you talk about a few things with Gilmer Wrestling that you have, and then when you're ready, you can kick it back to me, and we'll just interact and see what we can do on that. So, Dave, welcome back to segment number 2, sir.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, episode 38. You know, Luther, it's hard to believe we've been doing this show for about 40 weeks. I know we took a couple weeks off during the holidays, so you know, there's only 52 weeks in a year. So I mean, we're coming up on that 1-year anniversary. I mean, it's hard to believe, but absolutely, high school wrestling, as we know, is one of those sports that has definitely put the Highway 515 area on the map over the years. And this past weekend was certainly no different. The GHSA State Traditional Tournament is this weekend down in Macon. Lumpkin, Pickens, and Gilmer will all be well represented. The Dragons are sending 4 down, and I'll let you jump a little bit more into detail. But Dalton Bruner, Zach Meadows, CJ Murphy, and Garrett Thompson will all be representing the Dragons this weekend at the state tournament. Now, the way the bracket is, and for those folks that may not know, they used to just, you know, you would come out of your region tournament or your area tournament, and if you were in the top 4 or top 6 or whatever, you would advance on in to the state tournament. Well, now, out of region, you go to the sectionals where they kind of weed out certain, you know, some folks, and they narrow down the field a little bit before they actually go to the state tournament. I think that probably helps to kind of keep things moving a little bit, but there's that extra step in there for those high school wrestlers to have to compete. So these guys, once they make the state tournament, as we call their names here, we talk about these programs, keep in mind that these guys have already kind of been through a postseason tournament to get to this point. So it's a big honor that the Dragons have those 4 guys going. And when you look at the names of those guys, Bruner, you know, Murphy, Meadows, Garrett Thompson, these are guys that have been consistent all year long. We've called their names. I just said we've done this show 38 weeks. You know, we've been on the air over 40 weeks basically. And as high school wrestling started back in the, you know, fall, basically, when these guys hit the mat, started practicing, you know, we talked about these guys. I mean, these are a lot of the same guys that we've been talking about. And so congratulations to those 4 Dragons who are moving on. Lumpkin County, the Indians, they'll be sending 9 athletes to Macon after a strong AAA showing at the sectionals. The Indians had 4 sectional champions. They had a 2nd place, they had a 3rd place, a couple of 4th place finishers, a 5th place finish, and 2 alternates qualifying as well. So the Indians pulling together a great showing on the mat in AAA. And how about the Gilmer Bobcats? They will be sending, 10 different guys to Macon this weekend. There's only 14 weight classes. So just about every weight class, you will have a Gilmer Bobcat wrestler. That is the recipe for a state championship. You've got to get as many guys into the dance in order to collect those points. So they, again, continue to show domination in 4A to the Gilmer Bobcats. They've already been the state runner-up this year in the duels. Now as we focus on the traditional tournament this weekend, 14 going to the region tournament, 12 qualifying for the sectionals, and out of those 12, 10 are moving on to the state tournament. Congratulations, Coach Josh Gobadapur and the Gilmer Bobcats. Real quick, I'll run down and then I'll toss it to you, Luther, to get some comments because I know you've been following these guys closely. You've been watching them, especially for Gilmer. Carson Bentley and brother Logan Bentley, 106 and 120 weight classes respectively, headed down there. Walter Lopez at 113, Brock Sumner, Hoyt Stowers, Javier Jacinto, Andrew Gooch, Alex Reputin, Caleb Waddell winning first place coming out of the bracket. Taylor Brogdon, Forrest Todd finishing 9th and named as an alternate as the folks from Gilmer headed down. And for the first time in the history of GHSA wrestling, folks, there is a girls championship tournament this year. And the Gilmer Lady Cats, if you will, the Bobcat wrestling program, they have a Lady Cat that'll be going, and that is Candelaria Velasquez, who won the sectionals and is the Bobcats' first ever state qualifier in Gilmer history, who will be competing for the first ever girls state championship. So, Luther, again, just a lot of wrestling news. We've talked about these grapplers all year long, or all season long, I guess I should say. No surprises here. We knew that Gilmer, we felt like, would be well represented. We knew the Dragons would send a few. Lumpkin, of course, doing their job as well in AAA. Your thoughts on the sectionals from this past weekend and looking ahead to this weekend's state tournament?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, Dave, you're exactly right. The history of the Gilmer program speaks for itself. Talk about names that we've mentioned throughout the wrestling. Caleb Waddell, you know, he is probably the most consistent wrestler that I've seen in high school in several years. Alex Reputin, Taylor Brogdon, Hoyt Stover, Javier Jacinto. These guys have really, really stepped up and competed well all year. Of course, the Bentley brothers, you know, they're amazing. at 106 and 120. Andrew Gooch he's one of those who you can't deny his heart and his desire and determination to win. Great young man, finishing 7th here in the thing. Of course, for those that may not know, single A through triple A send the top 6. 4A through 7A send the top 8. So you may see a difference in numbers here with, the Lumpkin. Very easily, if they would have set the top 8, they could have had more athletes attend. They also have a young lady competing in the state girls championship this time. Alyssa, and her last name escapes me. If you're from Lumpkin County, I apologize. She will be going for the girls state championship as well. She won her sectionals in 3A as well. So congratulations to the ladies. I can't get past what Coach Brian Matthews told me down at Macon for the duels. He said, Luther, we're a very young team. We've got a lot of guys that are learning and getting better every match out. And, sending 9 down to Macon this weekend for the traditional championship, it's a testament to what he's doing with that program and really growing it. And so that is amazingly awesome. And just congratulations to all the guys. And, of course, the ladies as well. Good luck to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see all of our local area grapplers on the mat. And I'm not going to lie, man. I'm rooting for a state championship. I think realistically, Gilmer has a great shot. Obviously, sending 10 to the big dance. The Dragons, as far as the state championship team-wise is concerned, it's going to be tough to do that with 4 wrestlers, let's be honest. But certainly the opportunity and the potential to have some individual state champions come out of Pickens County. I still remember Chad Wigington. I still remember some of those guys from years past being able to capture that title. And wouldn't that be something? I think Lumpkin certainly has the potential to put a few guys into the finals as well. And Gilmer, I know they were a little disappointed against Woodward Academy in the duels, so maybe an opportunity for those guys to get that state championship here under Coach Gobad. And hopefully we will have some response from Coach Bad maybe on next week's show following the state tournament. It'll be a lot of fun, but we're certainly looking forward to that as our guys get ready to take the mat. We're going to go ahead and take another time out. When we return, we're going to turn the page and talk a little bit about some other sports that we haven't talked a lot about, soccer and swimming. This past weekend, the GHSA State Swim Meet held down at Georgia Tech. All that more straight ahead, including an exclusive interview with PHS baseball coach Adam Williams. That and more on the other side of this break. Again, you're watching the instant replay right here on FYNTV.com.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
At Ingalls, we have a very special family. A family of farmers, ranchers, and dairymen. Clerks, butchers, and bakers. Deli workers, pharmacists, and florists. We work hard every day to bring you the very best. And we'll continue to wake up every morning and work as hard as you do. This is our town, and we built this community together. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
At Pizza Hut, we're more than just $5 medium one-topping pizzas. Whoa, wait, medium pizzas? For $5? And all these sides, only $5? I'm speechless. The new $5 lineup, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Instant Replay. Again, I'm your host, Dave Garner, joined by Luther Kinsey in studio today. And for those that are just tuning in that maybe have watched the program before, but you missed our show last week, you'll know that we did have to kind of move things around a little bit. My work schedule is such that I'm having to kind of do the show remotely a little bit to move things around. It's a good thing, I promise. But I do hate that we don't have the consistent bantering back and forth between me and Luther, but he can hear every word I'm saying. I can hear every word he's saying. We've just got to technically figure out how to kind of get it all integrated together. But Josh is still behind the glass, doing a great job. Haven't really heard out of him much today. Luther, you'll have to get him to chime in with his thoughts, maybe about the AAF opener over the weekend, the Atlanta Legends leaving a little bit to be desired, admittedly, against Orlando. The Atlanta Legends scoring the first ever points in the new football league on Saturday night. It was a field goal, but that was pretty much it. After that, they got clobbered pretty well, 40-6. We'll talk a little bit more about the new football league in town that seems to have the support of the NFL and some other folks as well. So we'll see what happens. Just 8 teams in the league. The Atlanta Legends will open up their home schedule here in another week or two down at Georgia State, the old Turner Field. That's where they will play their home games. We'll talk more about those guys a little bit later on. Because of time, let's jump right back into the high school stuff and not get too chatty here. High school swimming over the weekend. And Luther, I want to get your thoughts on this as well. We haven't talked a lot about swimming. It's not one of those, traditional ball sports that we talk about when we talk about high school sports, but there are a lot of schools around the area and it's growing more and more. It used to just be kind of a club sport, but now the GHSA has integrated swimming as an official sport at the high school level. And this past weekend, the GHSA state championships were held down at Georgia Tech. And how about Gilmer? Good meet from Gilmer and Pickens right here. Good showing. Gilmer swim caps. The girls finished first in 4A schools in the state. Peyton was first in the butterfly and fourth in the backstroke. Grace was fourth in the breaststroke and eighth in freestyle. Boys and girls finishing fifth in the 200-meter relay. What a great showing from the Gilmer swimmers and the Sea Dragons down in Pickens County, if you will. Pickens High School's team, Victor Lane. I know him pretty well. I know his mom, Mila, very sweet lady. He was seventh in the 100-meter breaststroke, 13th in the 5-meter freestyle. And the thing about it, Victor was the first top 10 finisher for the Dragons swimming program ever at the GHSA state meet. So congratulations to Victor. Also, you had Victor Lane, Carter Lindsay, Anthony Jordan, and Hugo DeBarge finishing in the 200-meter freestyle relay. They finished 22nd in 4A. Now, I know that sounds like, 22nd. There are a lot of swimmers at this meet, guys, just so you know. Just an unbelievable showing all the way around. Luther, I don't know. I could see you I know you were a soccer player. I know you did a lot of different things. You officiated. What about your experience as a swimmer? I mean, you've got that tall, lanky kind of frame. I could see you moving like Michael Phelps a little bit. What are your thoughts on this swimming over the weekend?
Well, Dave, first off, I want to clarify something. I may be tall and lanky, Michael Phelps looking, but I am a rock with an anchor tied to it and a car tied to the top of that. I sink to the bottom. So I guess you could nickname me Catfish because, I'm a bottom dweller when it comes to the water. I'm not very swim oriented, I guess you could say. But yeah, great job by both these programs. The Gilmer programs, fairly young, and sending out some great athletes there to do what they do best. And, these girls that, finished well here for Gilmer, they love the water, obviously. And you wouldn't think that this time of year in Gilmer County, Ellijay, Georgia, that you'd be swimming. I mean, the weather is ridiculously cold, and I know they have access to a pool that they can use, which is great, but, that just shows heart and determination on whether you're indoors or outdoors. It doesn't matter. Swimming and being consistently getting better with the breaststroke, the backstroke, the freestyle, the butterfly, things of that nature. It's just amazing. Pickens Dragons, showed up, did very well. Victor Lane, as you said, first top 10 finisher in Dragons history. So that was pretty amazing. But other than that, I was a sports photographer before this and took a lot of pictures at a lot of swim meets. So that's about the limit of my water time, Dave. And but I appreciate the Michael Phelps comment. I could do that. Other than that illegal stuff he got caught with, we're not going to go into that. Talking about soccer, yes, I was a soccer player, and I'm going to bring in, the Pickens boys and Gilmer played this week. Did very, very well. We'll start with Pickens. The Pickens boys, 2019 season opener at home, had a 4-2 win last Wednesday over Sequoia. So the Dragons programs are, kicking in and doing real well. And coming up, the girls fell to North Forsyth 2-0 on Wednesday. They'll face Coahulla Creek on Tuesday the 12th. So I'm looking forward to a great season by the Dragons. Of course, in Gilmer, we know that Gilmer is a fairly decent program. They're doing better. They've had some coaches changes over the past few years, and both girls and boys are getting better. Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe, or LFO, came in, and the girls and boys both got victories. The girls won 2-0 in their competition, and the boys won 4-0 on their competition this last weekend. So doing really well. Lady Cats will travel to Rabun County this Friday, and the boys will host Fannin Rebels on Thursday. So got a lot of soccer action kicking in. It is early season for them, so we got a long season to go with that as well. Dave, I know you follow Atlanta United, so you know a little bit about soccer. Are you familiar with the Pickens program, and what's your thoughts on how their boys and girls seasons will go, as well as Gilmer?
There's a lot of talk in Pickens County that the boys will actually be pretty competitive, or at least the feeling is there. These guys have a little bit of experience, especially on the boys' side, and we saw that the other night, again, beating a 6A Sequoia team. That says a lot coming out of the gate about the potential for this Dragon soccer team. Now, the girls seem a little less experienced. I mean, again, this is just hearing people talk, a little bit of buzz here, nothing factual here at all. You asked the question, but I understand the girls may have a little bit tougher time, but they played North Forsyth, who's a 7A school, I believe, to a 2-0 ball game. I mean, that's pretty good to hold those guys that close. So, again, it's so early in the season for all of our spring sports. Who knows what's going to happen, but I think that was a big win for the Pickens boys last Wednesday, being able to come up with a big win over a bigger school right off the bat. I think that's definitely a momentum setter. And you talked about Gilmer, the momentum there of them growing. They've had a little bit of consistency now in their coaching staff for the last couple of years. We're starting to see that play out on the field. A good feeder program coming from the middle schools in Pickens and Gilmer counties. That's starting to show off. And then in Fannin County, too, let's not leave those guys out. When I think about Highway 515 soccer, I think traditionally about Fannin County and what they've been able to do over the years. Fannin has kind of been a hotbed for soccer, and Dawson County as well. We all know how well, the Tigers and Lady Tigers have had some excellent soccer programs over the years in Dawsonville. So, again, I'm excited about the high school soccer season all around our local area, and we hope that you guys are as well. Let's go ahead right now, and our very own Luther Kinsey, again, on the other side of this picture window you're watching right here. Again, he's on studio with us. But, Luther, you had a chance to sit down with Adam Williams earlier in the last week following National Signing Day to talk a little bit about some of his baseball players moving on to the next level. I want to go ahead and throw to that right now if we can. Let's go ahead and talk an exclusive interview. Our very own Luther Kinsey of Team FYN Sports sitting down and chatting with Pickens head baseball coach Adam Williams.
Luther Kinsey with Team FYN Sports. I'm sitting down with Coach Adam Williams of the Pickens County Dragons baseball team. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing well. Excited to be here. Can't wait to talk about the team, talk about the kids, and all the work they've been putting in.
Well, good. We appreciate you sitting down with us today. We'll start out, of course, you came here last year, I believe, from Cass High School.
Yes, sir.
Had some very good seasons, good athletes over there, more importantly. Of course, last year here at Pickens High School, you were 14-16 overall and 9-9 in region. What are your expectations of coming off that season into this season to make, get a better record for your team and possibly reach deeper into the playoffs?
Our focus isn't necessarily on wins and losses. It's about coming out and working hard every day. And we really stressed to our kids that our season is going to be made up as the kind of the culmination of all our practices. And, and we've got to work on getting better every day. So we've really been stressing the journey to the kids, and the journey is going to be way more important than the results. So we're really just stressing the journey and getting better and trying to hold our kids to a high standard. Last year was a great year for me. I really enjoyed my first year here at Pickens High School. I'm excited about this year. We returned 6 starters. Even though we were about 500 last year, we do have high expectations for this season, and we're looking forward to see where we go. But we scrimmaged last night. We saw some good things, but more importantly, I'm excited to see where we go from practice today. So that's kind of what I'm focused on, is just going out and getting better this afternoon.
All right. How many seniors did you lose last year?
Last year we lost 8 seniors, and those kids took me in and accepted me, and I'm really owe a debt of gratitude to those kids, because those kids embraced me. They could have easily said, I've been under another coach for 3 years, but they accepted me, and they kind of bought into the plan, and they are part of what we're trying to build here. They're going to help lay that foundation. So kids like Joseph Gossett, who is playing at Southern Union right now, Jace Franklin, Clayton MacArthur, Lucas Hedrick, Wyatt Cresswell, Dylan Huffman. Those kids, and I know I missed a couple there, but those kids were great, and just good people, and they were great to work with.
Excuse me. Well, speaking of seniors last year buying into the program and accepting you, of course you got some seniors this year that's in their second season with you. How many seniors do you have on the team this year? And then we'll talk about a couple of them specifically. Well,
we're going to have 6 seniors this year, and the kids have really kind of bought into the leadership aspect of it. So it's not just about playing baseball. Caswell Smith and Will Lawrence is going to lead us on the mound. Jackson Jones and Dalton Elrod are going to come in relief on the mound. Jacob Kirkhoff and Miles Bramlett, are going to lead us in the infield. Those kids have really kind of just bought into the whole aspect of family. That's one of our core values, and they're really doing their best to treat everybody, as a family. And there's no older kid, younger kid with those kids. We're all Dragons, and that's all the goal. And so I'm really grateful with this group and their effort that they're putting into the season so far.
Right. Speaking of Caswell Smith and Will Lawrence, of course, they signed their letter of intent to, to move on. In your career at Cass, you had 16 that moved on to the college level, which is outstanding. That shows that you really not only put the talent that they may be lacking a little bit, but you put that drive in their heart. And some already have it, of course, but you add to that. What does it mean to you to have these 2 guys sign on Wednesday?
Well, baseball is good to me, and so I work hard to be good to baseball and these kids and give them the best experience possible. If I can work hard to move a kid on, they're going to get the experience of playing baseball in college, but they're also going to get a college degree out of this, which is going to help them way more than baseball ever will. And I think what those 2 kids set the example for is they have earned their college scholarship. All fall, we lifted here at 5:45, and Will and Caswell was there every morning. They put in the sacrifice. They played all summer. They could have easily held down a summer job and went on vacation, but they were out playing summer baseball. They were committed to the game and committed to the process of going to school. And if there's a kid that wants to go to school and play college baseball, I'm going to do everything I can to help. I'm going to use my contacts. Like you said, we were able to put 16 kids in there. We had 2 go to school last year. We're putting 2 more in this year. We're going to have more next year. I'm going to get out and work hard for kids. And I'm going to work hard to get kids in school. So if you want to play college baseball and you live in this area, this is the place to be, because we're going to work to get you in.
All right, well, speaking of summer program and things like that, and the seniors that have left and senior leadership this year, how are some of your younger guys doing? Freshmen last year moving up to sophomore, and of course incoming freshmen this year. Talk about a few of those.
Well, we graduated 8 seniors last year, but we played a lot of sophomores. So we have a very good group of juniors that are here here at Pickens High School. Matter of fact, we started 5 juniors in the infield last night. Austin Chester started at catcher. Chad Packus started at first base. Tyler Vreeland started at second. Brady Moore at short. And then Colby James at third. So I'm excited about our good group of juniors. On the varsity this year, Hunter White is a sophomore that I think is going to contribute for us. Seth Dinsmore and Drake Sutton will contribute. Kids like Chase Goss, Jared Whitmore, all these kids have worked hard, and they're going to come in and they're going to play a role for us at some point. We even had a freshman, Anthony Antonozzi, go with us last night and get an at bat. So we're going to try to develop kids, and we want to put kids in situations where they succeed when they're juniors and seniors in high school.
Speaking of Seth Dinsmore, saw him the other day for the first time in several months. Looks like he had a little growth spurt.
Oh,
he's toned up and got a lot taller. That should really help him on the mound this year as well.
Absolutely. Seth's a great kid, extremely hard worker, a very talented kid. Probably a lot of people don't know this about Seth, but he's in the band. He can play 4 musical instruments. So he's just an all-around good kid. And that's the kind of kids we want in our programs. It's kids who are multi-talented. They can do different things. But Seth's going to help us, and he's going to help us on the mound. He's going to play a role for us. There's going to be some point this year Seth's going to contribute. And we're excited to have him. And not only is he going to help on the baseball field, he's a great clubhouse guy. He's a guy who mixes it up with the guys. He can kind of give and take a little bit when it comes to the kind of the joking around with each other. And so he is really, truly a great kid to have in the program.
Well, before we close, I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming season. Of course, scrimmage games are in full swing now. When is your first regular season game? Is it home, away, and who would it be against? And if you can, maybe talk about that, your opponent a little bit and what you see in them.
Well, absolutely. We play 5 home games next week. So we're supposed to open up at Murray County. Their field is under construction. They're having some issues with the outfield, so we moved it to our place. So we're going to open up at home on Tuesday. We play Murray County. Then we play Lumpkin on Thursday. The head coach at Lumpkin's, Jonathan Gasly, is a good friend of mine. He's going to come in and have those guys prepared. Friday, we play the new school at Denmark. Again, David Smart's head coach over there. He's going to have those kids prepared. And then Saturday, we play McIntosh and Northgate from south of Atlanta. So we kind of have a baseball day here Saturday where Pickens and Lumpkin will play McIntosh and Northgate. So we're going to kind of get a little mountain ball versus a little South Atlanta ball and see how it goes, But that's what we got to do, In order to compete on a state level, we got to get out and bring teams in from all over the state. We're going to make a trip to Brunswick on the following weekend over fall break, and winter break, excuse me. And we're going to go play South Effingham and Brunswick High School down at baseball at the beach. So we're going to try to get our kids on the bus, and we're going to go play some people, and we're not scared of competition. And we're not going to back down from anybody. So we're going to go out there and put the our best 9 on the field. We're going to see who plays the best that day.
Well, good deal. Good deal. As we close, Coach, I want to thank you for sitting down with us and bringing a little, insight to the baseball program here at Pickens High School. And folks, if you're watching in and around the Pickens area, as Coach Williams said, got a full week of baseball. We'd love to have you come out and watch them, cheer them on. And even if you're not a fan of Pickens, but you're possibly moving in, as he said, this is the place to go if you want a college education. So come out, watch them. Catch him between games, introduce yourself, and let him tell you a little bit more about how they do things around here. Even if you're young and upcoming, I'm sure he'd love to talk to you.
Talking about young and upcoming, we've got feeder teams here all the way down to 3rd grade. So we have a 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, then a middle school team. So we got kids in all ages playing baseball here in Pickens County, and I am super excited about it. I mean, good things are happening on the diamond here. And I can't wait to see what happens here.
Good deal. Well,
super excited.
Well, thank you again for sitting down with us, Coach. Best of luck with the 2019 season, and look forward to catching more from you probably later in the season, maybe before a playoff run. We'd love to see it.
Absolutely.
Thank you again.
There you go, Coach Adam Williams, the head baseball coach at Pickens High School, excited about the upcoming season, as are the Dragons, and we'll look forward to covering those guys throughout the spring season. We're going to go ahead and take our final timeout. When we return, we're going to switch over to the high school basketball court. That's right, the state tournament cranking up this week. We're going to let you know who's where as we end our show that way in our 4th quarter segment coming up. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Instant Replay. I'm your host, Dave Garner, joining you on location today. Our very own Luther Kinsey back in studio. Josh Ross, our director behind the glass, as always in studio. And we appreciate you guys being with us here on a Monday morning. As we said, this was episode 38 all time of the Instant Replay. So again, we're coming up on, we're rapidly coming up on that 1-year anniversary. It's been a lot of fun. I know we've kind of changed things up here a little bit. We're going to bring Luther back in just a moment, but a lot going on the hardwood. And we wanted to kind of end with this because obviously high school basketball and wrestling, really the big things. We're about to jump in and we're slowly integrating some of our spring coverage in. You just heard an interview with Coach Adam Williams, who we appreciate being on with us this morning, in the interview that Luther did with him last week following National Signing Day. We're going to begin to gear our coverage towards soccer, baseball, track and field, golf, tennis, but we still have some unfinished business left on the hardwood and the wrestling mat. Now, earlier in our second quarter segment, we talked about wrestling. We're going to finish off here with basketball because we have several teams that are moving on to the state tournament this week, and we want to talk a little bit about those teams. Let's start in the 3A boys. We've got Dawson County, the #1 seed, out of Region 7, going up against the 4-seed Ringgold. That will take place at Dawson. You've also got 4-seeded Lumpkin going at North Murray in AAA as well, 6 p.m. this Saturday. So, again, that's going to be a lot of fun there. And then on the boys' side as well, keeping with the boys in 2A, Union County, the 3-seed, taking on Spencer out of Columbus as the 2-seed there. So, again, that's what's going on this week. And then moving right on to the girls' side, in 4A, Gilmer and Pickens went at it in the consolation game on Friday afternoon up at Southeast Whitfield. It was Gilmer winning over Pickens, so that means Gilmer will be the 3-seed, Pickens will be the 4-seed, and Gilmer will be headed to Marist this week, the 2-seed. Pickens will be headed to Flowery Branch, the #1 seed in the crossover games there out of Region 6 4A. Region 7, White County, the 3-seed, at Northwest Whitfield. It looks like the 2-seed there. So again, a lot going on in the way of high school basketball. Girls AAA, North Murray at North Hall. Again, North Murray ended up as the 3 seed, and Dawson, the 3 seed, going to the 2 seed out of Region 6, that being Cahola Creek on Saturday. So hopefully I didn't confuse you there. That kind of tells you a little bit about what's going on. We're going to talk about all region selections here in just a moment. Luther, you're welcome to do that as well, but I want to throw it over to you now and get your thoughts about high school basketball. I know that for the boys, kind of disappointing in Region 6 and 4A. Gilmer, of course, going in as the 2 seed, but they were upset by Ridgeland the first game, so they, of course, are denied a spot at state. I know that was disappointing. However, the Lady Cats, though, in it, along with the Dragonettes. Your thoughts on what went down last week and over the weekend as we now set our sights on the state basketball tournament this week?
Yeah, Dave, very disappointing for both the Pickens boys and the Bobcats out of Gilmer last week. Gilmer coming in as a 2 seed, like as you said, they were upset by number 7 seed Ridgeland. Very close ball game, 57-53 final score there. Ridgeland's got a kid that he's about 6'5", about 300 pounds. And as a former official, I will never get on the officials because they're wearing the stripes, not me. No, as we've talked in other sports here recently, no call or lack thereof will ever cause a team to lose the game because there's so many things you could do different throughout that game and not be in that situation as it comes down to the buzzer. But this young man had 0 fouls. 6'5", 300 pounds, major inside player, and 0 fouls. There was a lot of discussion about calls missed or just not made in that situation. But that's not what cost Gilmer the game. They played hard. They played their heart out. The press was working well, and then it kind of fell apart. Just a tough loss to Ridgeland, and I know they're very disappointed. They were looking forward to making it to the state playoffs. And it was, it would have been well-deserved if they had. On the Dragons side, Heritage came in and, just dominated the Dragons boys in the region tournament last week. I think they beat them by 20-plus points, which is, kind of the way the Dragons season started out and has continued all year under new coach. Of course, Hunter Herman was out, the majority of the season with an injury. The Dragons got better. A lot better as he came in. The team really started gelling and played very well toward the end of the season, making it in the tournament. Tough loss for them. Of course, falling short of state as well. Really would have liked to see the Dragons battle back and make a state appearance under first-year head coach Mike Duffy. That would have been awesome for the guys and awesome for the Dragons program. On the girls' side, as you said, Gilmer will travel to Marist. Tough ball game. Marist is one of those schools that feels a starting 5 that can score at will. They play excellent defense. It's going to be a tough ball game at Marist, so Gilmer's traveling, which is not always the perfect situation, but it's going to be fun for them. Another playoff appearance as they went last year as well. I look forward to them playing their hearts out and just really putting forth their best effort. And jumping from there, I'm going to jump over to the 3A. I'm going to go back to boys real quick. Dawson. We were talking on last week's show that Dawson played GAC, the number 1 seed, and how tough that would be to really just get in there and, come out with a win. They beat them by 10, 86-76. Great showing by the Dawson County boys to get the number 1 seed in the first round of the state tournament. Just an amazing there. Back to the girls again. Dawson coming in as the 3 seed, playing Cahola Creek. It should be an excellent ball game. I look for the Dawson girls to really step up there and come out with a win on that one. I'm going to jump ship a little bit off the playoffs, bring in some all-region teams. 6 4A boys. Seth Bishop from Pickens and Kel Weaver from Gilmer were named to the all-region 4A team, 6 4A team. On the girls' side, Tori Williams, Mackenzie Weaver for Pickens, and Mallory Kaiser and Mary Lee Callahan for Gilmer were chosen as parts of the all-region team. So great job to both Seth and Kel on the boys' side, and great job by Tori and Mackenzie and Mallory and Mary Lee on the girls' side. That's an excellent honor to be chosen. That shows that You know, you played real hard all year, you dedicated your time to it, and you put forth the showing on the court that the selection committee wanted to see. So congratulations to each and every one there. 7 AAA girls for the Lumpkin County Lady Indians. Isabel Davenport and Mackenzie Pulley were named to the All-Region 7 AAA team, with honorable mentions of Clara White, Ashlyn Wistowski, and Mackenzie Caldwell, once again, as honorable mentions. Congratulations to those ladies as well. Great season, and look forward to hopefully continuing on in the state playoffs for you. I'm going to bring in some Murphy and Hayesville basketball out of our North Carolina area real quick. The Lady Bulldogs are 10-1 in conference play with an 11-game win streak. They're really performing and just putting it on, leaving it out on the floor every day that they play. Great job. They will face Robbinsville on the 11th. The Hayesville girls are 7-4 in conference, 6-4 in their last 10 games with 16-7 overall record. Having a mediocre year, but look forward to these ladies stepping it up and really finishing out the season well. On the boys' side of that, out of Murphy, their season is pretty dismal at the moment. 4-17 overall, just 3-8 in 1A conference. We'll host Robbinsville on Monday, the 11th, which is tonight. If you're watching this live on Monday, that will be tonight. They will host them at Murphy High School. And they're trying to get back on track. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. So they really need to right the ship on that and just get it going in the right direction. They're probably a little over halfway of their season right now, so they've got time to really rebound and bounce back on that. The Hayesville boys are putting on a show, having a great year. They're 19-4 overall, 10-1 in conference play, first place in Region 1A out of the Little Smoky Mountain Conference, and number 2 is Andrews High School. They're 9-2, and these two teams will match. They will face off in a big region matchup tomorrow, Tuesday, February 12th. So that will determine a tie for first, or if Hayesville can pull out the win there, they'll continue at 11-1 and be first place in 1A Big Smoky or Smoky Mountain Conference. So good luck to the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. Let's hope they can continue this run and make a run deep on in. Dave, we're sitting at 11 o'clock. Normally we would close, but before I send it back to you, you was talking about bringing Josh in. I want to bring Josh in real quick to talk about the AAF you were mentioning. He's got some useful insight. As we know, he is a Georgia Southern fan, and he has found a way to tie the new football league in with Georgia Southern. So, Josh, what do you got?
Well, the new Atlanta Legends team has 2 Georgia Southern Eagles on it, Monte Crockett, wide receiver, and Young Hoku, the kicker. So, as Dave mentioned earlier, the first points ever scored by the Atlanta Legends and in the AAF in general were a field goal by Young Hoku. So that's pretty cool that belongs to a Georgia Southern Eagle there. And then also, I'm going to do my best. I'm trying to get some things worked out for some coverage from Braves spring training. I'll be heading down Friday, and I'll be there all next week for the first week of pitchers and catchers and everything. So we'll see what we can do there.
Awesome. Well, send us some good video on that if you can, and maybe an interview or two, and we'll see if we can get it on next week's show. Well, be safe and be careful going down there. Dave, can you believe that Josh would be able to tie something from a new football league into Georgia Southern?
Oh, I can believe it. I can believe it, man. He's all over it, just like our Team FYN sports crew. If it happens in North Georgia, we're all over it, as we say. But Josh knows his stuff, man. I tell you what, I know he doesn't say a lot, but that's why we like to bring him in, because he's always got that good insight for sure. Luther, great job today, partner. As always, I appreciate you putting all this together. I'm just the talking head here remotely, but I appreciate the job you did today. And we are out of time, as you said. Folks watching at home or wherever you may be watching from, your work computer or whatever, hopefully you're not going to get in trouble for taking some time to watch this. And, of course, you can always watch on demand Monday through Thursday. Our live show's on Monday, but you can also catch the program Tuesday through Thursday as well. 10 to 11 are always on demand right here on FYNTV.com. That's going to wrap things up for this week's show. Appreciate you guys watching. Next week, again, we'll have a recap of the state wrestling tournaments for you, and we'll talk a little bit more about high school baseball and all the different spring sports that are cranking up. And, of course, we'll have a recap from our state basketball appearances as well. And look forward to seeing all of our competitors in action in their respective arenas. And we appreciate you guys being on. It's been a lot of fun. As always, we'll see you same time, same place next week right here on FYNTV.com. And remember, we're always highlighting and promoting student athletes in a positive way as part of North Georgia's only weekly live online hour of sports talk. Appreciate you guys being with us. When it happens in North Georgia, we're all over it. We'll see you next week.